In the quiet town of Willow Creek, where everyone knew each other's secrets, there stood an old house at the end of Maple Street. It was a house that time seemed to forget, its once vibrant paint now faded and peeling. The townsfolk often whispered about the house, claiming it was cursed or haunted, but no one had ever dared to enter. That is, until Emily, a young history enthusiast, moved into town. She had always been fascinated by mysteries and forgotten stories, so when she heard about the old house, she knew she had to explore it. One crisp autumn morning, she decided to venture inside, determined to uncover its secrets. As she stepped into the house, the floorboards creaked beneath her feet, and the musty scent of decay filled the air. Dust-covered furniture stood like ghosts of the past, untouched for decades. Emily's heart raced as she wandered through the rooms, each one filled with remnants of a life long gone. Old photographs, yellowed letters, and vintage trinkets told stories of a family that had once called this place home. But it wasn't until she reached the attic that Emily discovered the true treasure of the house. Hidden beneath a pile of old blankets, she found a small, leather-bound diary. Its cover was cracked and worn, but the pages inside were still intact. She carefully opened the diary, her curiosity piqued. The diary belonged to a young woman named Clara, who had lived in the house during the early 1900s. As Emily read the entries, she was drawn into Clara's world, a world filled with love, heartbreak, and a secret that had been buried for over a century. Clara wrote of a forbidden love affair with a man named Henry, a relationship that her strict parents had disapproved of. The entries were filled with longing and despair, as Clara described their secret meetings in the woods behind the house. But as Emily continued reading, the tone of the diary changed. Clara's writing became frantic, her words filled with fear. One night, Henry had asked Clara to meet him at their usual spot, but when she arrived, he was nowhere to be found. Instead, she discovered a note, hastily scribbled and stained with what appeared to be blood. The note warned Clara to leave town immediately, and to never speak of Henry again. The final entry in the diary was dated the following day. Clara wrote that she was leaving Willow Creek, but not before hiding the diary where no one would find it. Until now. Determined to find out, Emily began to dig deeper into the town's history. She visited the local library, interviewed elderly residents, and even searched the archives of the town newspaper. What she uncovered was more shocking than she could have imagined. Henry had been involved in a scandal that rocked the town, a scandal that had been covered up by powerful families who wanted to protect their reputations. The note Clara had found was a warning from one of Henry's enemies, a last-ditch effort to silence her. But Clara had outsmarted them. By leaving behind her diary, she ensured that her story would one day be told. Emily knew she had to share what she had discovered. She published Clara's story online, and it quickly went viral. The town of Willow Creek was thrown into the spotlight, and the forgotten house on Maple Street became a tourist attraction. People from all over the world came to see the place where Clara's love story had unfolded. And as for Emily, she continued her quest to uncover forgotten stories, always searching for the next diary, the next secret waiting to be revealed. But she never forgot Clara, the young woman whose voice had echoed through time, and whose story had finally been heard.